So you said how people are mean, on their own property?
Yeah.
I have a bay window in my dining room. I regularly open up the curtains and I stand there and I look out in my yard and I just say, get off my property. And my wife will be like, who are you talking to? And I'm just like, everyone.
Are you talking to the
And I'm
squirrel?
like, no, but there's not even anybody there. Just like in general, I'm just like, get off my property. Just like, whatever, just so people know, don't be on there.
You have to
really
say it
weird.
occasionally just in case someone you don't see is on it. Like when they put up no trespassing signs.
Yeah.
They're not directed at anybody in particular. It's just like when the person
Just so you
shows
know.
up,
You're
it was
Do
posted.
you have like weird fantasy, or like if someone does walk up, are you like, yes,
Man,
I've been
take
waiting
one more
for this
step.
moment.
Get off.
We read a story, Gus and I read a story about a couple in, was it Montana or North Dakota? Of a traditionally rural part of America. Rural. Where they set up a
word is
purse, they
great.
put a purse in the garage, and
They left the garage door
they
open.
left the garage door open with the purse in plain view, and it was a German exchange student, I think, came into the garage to mess with the purse, and they came out and shot the guy. Like they set a trap, and they were just waiting to shoot people.
Yeah, they were like right behind the door watching with
Holy
guns,
shit.
waiting to be able to shoot someone.
Yeah. It was like, and they thought that was totally okay, like legal. It's like, well, he came on our property. It's like you entice the person to come
Jesus.
on the property, and then they shot the guy.
Let me give you an example of Canada compared to that. One time we left our garage door open at night, all night,
Yeah.
and we had bicycles in there, we had sports equipment, we had 2 cars in there, everything. The only thing that was stolen was the change out of the car. Like, the little pocket where the change is?
Really?
That was the only thing. It was probably like 70 cents worth.
And they left an IOU note, which is really weird.
Man, you're
They
reminding
left
me.
us $10. They just
No,
needed
it said,
change.
sorry, please.
You were talking about confusing things, and it made me think about this video I saw over the weekend on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you watched it, but it was an explanation, or it was a video that talked about the most confusing international borders in the world. And there's a region
Only you, Gus.
where Belgium and the Netherlands share, they call them enclaves and exclaves. Like
What?
parts of Netherlands are in Belgium and parts of Belgium are in the Netherlands.
Really?
And there's like, they show pictures of this town
Work that shit out.
that has literally like tiles and lines all through it showing if you're in the Belgium or if you're in the Netherlands. And some houses need 2 addresses, one for each country.
Oh Christ.
Because I guess they determine what country your house, because the border runs through businesses and through houses.
No, it
so they
shouldn't do that.
determine the country your house is in is where your front door is.
What?
So there was one guy who, and before 1995, I guess like they had a general idea of where the border was, but in 1995 they did an exact survey, and this one guy who thought he was a Belgian dude living in Belgium discovered he was a Belgian dude living in the Netherlands, but he didn't want to have to go through the whole process of like changing his tax forms and going through all of that. So he walled up his front door and moved it down the road.
Oh my God.
In his house, so that his house was then in Belgium.
Holy crap.
That is the most ridiculous thing.
And they had pictures of this one house. That's what it looks like. They have pictures of this one house where the border runs right to the door. And the door has 2 addresses. One with a little Belgian flag, and the other one with a little Dutch flag.
I wonder if
Wow.
the tax amounts are different there. Like,
I'm sure
could,
it
could you be
is.
like, I was stood in the kitchen when I earned that money?
And they said before the euro, it was way more confusing. Because it was different currencies.
Was Belgium on francs?
I don't know what they were using.
What
And
other-
What was Dutch? The kroner? I
No,
guess.
it was Swedish.
Yeah. What is Dutch?
I don't know.
No,
That's
it's
a
got a
shirt.
funny name, like the schloopel or something. I'm gonna look at what
The
the.
Schmorgen
It was like an 11 or 12 minute.
I'm kind of sad that
long video.
we've lost those things.
All the
Yeah, I
currencies.
wish we had the different currencies.
Yeah.
But
Like the Deutschmark. How many of you think have been in space at this point altogether? Just guess.
200.
200 is exactly the number
You
I was
think
going to
200?
say. Yeah.
Maybe
Has it been that
300.
many? I guess so.
The ISS has a constant rotation.
Yeah, but it's always like the same dudes over and over, right?
Oh, is it?
Like, oh, time to go to
You
work.
think dudes who get to go like twice, that everyone else is like, come on, dude.
How?
We went to space already.
My turn.
I would totally be that way. I would absolutely say it's my fucking turn to go to space.
No, I'd be like, this is what I do. I'm an astronaut. I go to space. I'm not an astronaut on Earth. I'm going again.
No, you're an asteroid. Or what is that? You're a meteorite.
Once you
you're
come
on
back,
Earth.
you're a meteorite.
So how big is the Earth from the moon?
All the way.
It's just the same size, just as big.
What do you mean? Oh,
As the moon is for Earth.
The Earth size doesn't change.
You mean a relative? I mean, you've seen pictures from the moon.
is it big though?
Did we talk about that weird?
What does big mean?
Like,
What does big mean?
you know
Like,
how
you know,
big the
could you-
moon looks from here?
Yeah.
I imagine it's pretty much the exact same, but reverse.
No.
Well, no, the
Why-
moon's way
Do you
smaller
guys ever
than
see how
Earth.
scale and distance works? Why would an object that's smaller, when it's the same distance away, appear bigger, appear the same size?
Never mind.
What did you mean? Let's
I'm
delve.
not gonna try to explain this.
Let's
Never
go into it.
No.
Because I want to. It'd be cool if the Earth was just mind-blowingly big from the
You've
moon.
never seen a picture of the Earth, ever.
I
Yeah,
think he's trying
from-
to say how big does it look when you're standing on the moon? Like,
Barbara, I'm making a point here. You've never seen a picture of the Earth.
Is
Where
it
the fuck do you
bigger-
think they took the picture from?
Is it bigger than the sun? Yeah, what, you think every picture of the Earth is from the moon?
Well, a lot of them are. They're either from the fucking space station or the goddamn moon. It doesn't show up at school picture day and get a fucking photo and hang it on the goddamn refrigerator. Where else are we taking pictures from?
I would imagine a lot of them come from satellites. At his
Or
defense.
satellites,
Well,
right?
thanks to Google Earth.
Orbit or the moon. We got two different ranges there.
Probably the satellites, though,
You've-
mainly.
Oh, God, is this really that hard? Have you never seen a picture with that's the moon in the foreground and the goddamn Earth in the background? You've never
it's
seen that
taken
photo.
from behind the moon.
On the moon with the ground, with the stupid little car and the fucking fake lander, and then they have
fake lander.
and they have the Earth in the background. You haven't seen that.
I don't think I. Oh, see, it's massive. That's
yeah,
top.
that's how
Yeah.
big
Is
it
that
looks.
bigger than the sun?
Is that bigger than the sun? Yeah, that would be bigger than the sun.
Yeah.
I would imagine the sun would be the exact same size from the moon as it is from the Earth.
What? Wait, what? Oh, right, because it's so far away.
Relatively, yeah, it would look
Because
the same.
the weird thing about the sun and the
That's what I
moon,
was trying to
we talked
say.
about this before, right? The weird thing about the sun and the moon and why they look the exact same size is that the moon is like 400 times smaller than the sun, but
400
the sun,
times closer.
the sun is 400 times further away than the moon is.
It's amazing to me that it's that close.
And that's so rare to have perfectly the same size objects eclipse each other like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
To the
that's,
point where you can just see a tiny little ring.
It's pretty awesome.
it's so amazing, and yet our table is still 1 degree off.
Yeah, I mean, if you think we had a smaller moon, eclipses would not be a thing.
Yeah.
It would just be a shadow on the
And
sun.
if it was bigger, it would be, I guess, more common
Yeah,
to have a
it's
total solar
so
eclipse.
perfectly aligned.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is this birds?
It was funny
What
'cause
is
they
this photo?
So that's a photo of that's the lunar lander going down to the surface of the moon. And the one dude is staying
Yeah,
up in the
baby.
orbiter. And you talked about this one time that he was the most isolated person in the entire world.
Yeah, he was the
Or the
human
entire-
furthest from any other human.
Because he was
Well, not in the world.
not in the world that's ever human ever. He was the most isolated because his distance to them on the surface of the planet, or on the surface of the moon, I should say, was greater than any other human has ever been further away than any other human.
Should we talk about how many people volunteered to go to Mars and never come back?
Was it a bunch? Hold on a second. Let me tell you about the perspective somebody gave on this photo here. If you can go back to it. So the guy that took the photo of the lunar lander going down to the moon, he took it from the orbiter. So it's got the lunar lander in the foreground. In the background, it's got the Earth.
Yeah.
So someone pointed out that photo contains, it's a photo of every single human ever in existence, living and dead, except for the guy that took the photo.
Wow.
He's the only person ever to have lived as a human that's not in that photo.
Wow,
That's a really interesting observation. It's
That's
like a,
pretty funny.
Yeah,
that makes me feel really uneasy for some
It's
reason.
like-
it does, right?
Yeah.
It's
like
really weird. We're
everything-
all in that photo in some weird way. Like all the materials that made us, everything is in that photo.
Yeah. It's like everything that ever happened, all of the history except for him.
Except for that
really
dude.
sad.
So
Except for
isolated.
that dude. Yeah. It's crazy.
So sad.
The caption should be like, guys, I missed it.
Can we
wasn't
take it again?
Can we Photoshop him in like Ray
It's
at
like
the
that
Halo
Oscar
launch?
selfie.
We'll just put him in at the
Guys,
end.
1 billion of you were blinking.
Yeah, we,
How often do you blink? What are the chances if you take a photo of 6 billion people? Probably 5 billion people when that was. God, it was probably 4 billion people
yeah,
when that photo was taken.
probably less than 4.
Might have been
actually.
less than
yeah.
4 billion.
'Cause I remember 4 billion being the milestone when I was young.
In
Wait,
your
what year-
lifetime.
Yeah, in my
What year
lifetime.
was that taken?
1968?
Late
Was that-
60s, maybe early 70s.
That would
Yeah.
be different for a woman, though.
What?
Oh,
Oh,
God.
I'm trying. No, wait. Let's see. What does that mean? That would be
Wait a minute,
different
guys.
for a woman, though.
Now let's do this from now on. Guys, let's do this from now on. Whenever this comes up, you and I are now going to play Who's Gavin's Brain? Am I Gavin's Brain or are you Gavin's Brain?
Okay.
You be Gavin's Brain.
Can you repeat the question? That's probably probably different for a woman.
It would
though?
probably
That
be-
statement
what
is
year
different
was
for
it?
a woman.
1968. It would probably be different for a
No,
woman.
no. The year's nothing to do with it.
That's
But that's when
that's
you
how the
said that.
conversation went.
Right.
It's probably different for a woman, though.
I'll be Gavin's Brain.
All right, you
Can I
be Gavin's
volunteer?
brain. Yeah.
Here's why.
Something about
A woman is filled with eggs. So, since people are the eggs, she has more than just herself out of the photo. She has a bunch of people that are going to be people also behind the camera as well.
Right, but that still is encompassed by everyone who's ever gonna.
No, but this could be generations of people that are like egged up in
Right.
her.
How'd
I do, Gavin?
For a woman, though. Hold on, I
Spot
still.
Absolutely spot on.
I've known you, I've
really?
known you too
Yeah,
long.
because if it was a woman who would eventually have kids, her kid was up there too.
Gavin, Gavin is fascinated by ovaries. You don't know that yet?
It's so interesting to me that you have a finite amount. A dude could just sperm everywhere, left and right, all day, every day, and never run out.
Because remember, he got the whole thing about you're in your grandmother
Yeah.
with your
Sperm all
mother.
day.
Like because you're an egg in
Yeah,
in your mother who's in your grandmother. That was the discussion.
Because a baby has all of its eggs. So the baby that's in the woman has eggs that it will one day have.
He's fascinated by
I
eggs.
love when you confuse yourself mid-sentence.
It's not that, I think it's not that he's confused. I think he's just excited about the
can't, like-
topic for some reason.
It's like when you miss out a word while you're typing.
I'm now gonna keep
Oh,
record.
man.
I am now 1 for 1 as Gavin's
you are.
brain. You have to match me later.
I was so brain dead
That was
earlier.
impressive.
That's really good.
I sent an email to the convention center. I was coordinating some stuff with the catering department there for RTX, and one of our exhibitors had a question because they wanted to know if they could pass out free bottles of water in their booth. So I emailed the catering department at the convention center. And I said, "Hey, one of our exhibitors wants to know if they can give out free watered bottles at their booth." And I sent the email, and I was like, something was weird about that. And I went back and I looked at my sent items, and I was like, I wrote watered bottles.
Was
And
it
then
early?
I sent a follow-up email. It's like, obviously I mean bottled water. They were still confused. They're like, do you mean bottles with water in them, or like empty water bottles that people can use later?
So are there different rules depending on
It was
either
like,
of those?
even a watered bottle would be a bottle with water in it.
A watered bottle to me is just droplets of water on the outside of an empty bottle,
Watered bottle.
like watered plants.
Yeah, there's no that doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
it was early, and I was just trying to plow through as many emails as I
My
could.
brain is so fried.
The people who want to go to Mars and die there,
Go ahead.
They have no intention of coming back. I
That's
imagine
Gus.
a bunch of them will go. They will set up life on Mars, and then make babies, and then we'll have real Martians. All right, people who are
Yeah.
born on Mars.
It's true.
Do they get a passport? Like, is there then going to be like a planetary passport?
That'd be awesome.
Also-
What if the front door for their Martian house is in Belgium? That's what I want to know.
That's when it gets confusing.
But what if? Because what happened with America, right? Everyone went there, and then they were like, "Oh, screw everywhere else. We're
What
America
if?
now."
That's it. That's
And
pretty much
then
it.
we had to send
That's what
people.
the Declaration of Independence starts with.
We had to send
Screw
people over
everywhere
to
else.
America to try and like get that under, back how it should be.
Yeah, that worked out.
And then we lost, and then America was America.
It happens.
Will there be a interplanetary war between Mars and Earth one day? Do you think, involving humans?
World War One.
It wouldn't be worth it. It wouldn't be worth it.
Why?
Just say, what are the resources?
What?
I mean, how you gonna go to another planet to fight a war?
Well, what if Mars is building an army? That's
It's like we're gonna invade you 2 years from now. Here we come. Yes. It's like just get ready. You
Here's
just go like
blueprints.
you just do this. You go da, 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 da. All right, dig a hole right here. Dig a big hole. The fucking army lands and just bury him. That's what I would do. Imagine if the Nazis had like a 2-year lead on knowing exactly where the U.S. forces were gonna land at Normandy.
soon.
I don't think we can fight wars anymore like that. I think that age is like quickly going away.
Information's too readily available.
Yeah, like I just look at like we could arrive on the beach of Normandy and the German forces, the Axis forces, were just like, we think they're gonna come anywhere along this coast in these corridors at these spots, and they set up bunkers, but they just didn't really have an idea. You know what I mean?
So was there the equivalent of that set up at Normandy everywhere else along that coast?
There were other places where we landed. Normandy, I think, is just the big one that we always talk about. But D-Day was like a couple different points of entry. So there were different beaches.
Yeah, I think they obviously set up defenses anywhere they thought could be a potential landing area.
D-Day was a big operation.
I mean, yeah, they talk about how they tried to build fake armies, like they had inflatable tanks and fake planes that they set so that when German spy planes would fly over to take pictures, they would think all of their forces were somewhere else, but they were all just like inflatables and wooden like pieces of
I
shit.
love the idea of some guy explaining to his wife. He's like, yeah, I'm helping our country for the war. What are you doing?
I gotta go blow up the tank. That sounds dangerous. No, I just have to inhale and like it's like it's like a
blow
pool
up.
toy.
I'm the tank inflator for the war.
I've also seen, I guess, over, like Air Force bases in California. I think it was Air Force bases and airplane factories. They didn't want them to look like factories from the sky, so they would put giant tarps over the top of them that looked like neighborhoods.
Oh,
So when
really?
you were flying over, it would look like a neighborhood street with houses and roads
That
and
is
stuff.
comedy.
But then under the tarp was, there's an inflatable tank.
Wow.
I love that they're just like really basic tricks that people would fall for
Right.
when they're in the plane.
That would be a great flotation device to use at a beach.
Did I ever tell you about the way the first movie we ever shot, the way that we had this guy who was very well-meaning, but so fucking dumb. And he was helping us. He was like our PA, and he's a lot smarter now. But he was back in college. He was kind of dopey, and he did the fucking dumbest thing ever. We were shooting a picnic scene. It was in the movie. It was a picnic scene.
Did he bring ants?
Fucking blanket, person, chicken, whatever it was they were eating. And they were sitting there, we're shooting the shot, so we're going this way. And it's like, and Tony was late. And we're like watching the shot. It was a big, long take. We shot on a camera back then. You could only do, it had a 100-foot reel. It was a shoot camera.
So a couple of minutes?
For 2.5 minutes is what we could get. So this scene was going to do one take. We were going to do 2.5 minutes. So they had to get it right. And then if they didn't, we'd had to change the film and all this stuff. So we'd done it like twice already. We're on the third take. And we're doing this. And they're 1 minute into the scene. And I look up. And here comes fucking Tony walking to the set because he's late. And I'm like, oh, shit. I said, but no big deal. He's just somebody walking in the background of the shot. Like, here's the shot. And he's about where you are, but, like, further back. But that's where the angle is in the shot. He's walking up. And so I'm like to Tony. I'm behind the camera. And he's like, walking. I go,
This is great for the audio
like
podcast.
that. Yeah, it's great for the audio podcast. I'm just telling him, walk.
You're pantomiming walking.
Yeah. And then Tony, he's walking along, and sure enough, he gets about 50 feet. I can't judge this. About 50 feet away. And he looks up, and he makes eye contact with me, and he goes like this. This is terrible for the audio podcast. I recognize. He goes like this. He goes.
Deer in the headlights look, and he like crouches down
He
like
froze,
a cat.
and then, like cartoon style, he creeps off like this.
With his hands in front of him, like he's sneaking, like a burglar in an old cartoon.
Like a Scooby-Doo cartoon. He's like getting away from the monitor. I was like, good Lord. God damn.
Please tell me you used that take.
Like,
That was the best one.
There goes fucking Tony in the background.
It's the kind of motion that goes together with a creaky floorboard every time.
I was like, what were you doing? I mean, what was have you ever made that motion in your life?
Does
in
that
real
work?
life?
Is that how you sneak away so people don't see you?
He was like a ninja. There was a guy then, he just disappeared into thin air.
It could have been worse. He could have thrown one of those smoke puffs down. Disappeared that way.
Or just
that
fallen
might-
over dead, like locked up.
Both of those might have been better. Each of those scenarios might have been preferable to
We
what
could have
actually
CG'd
happened.
in like a meteorite hitting him or something and knock him out. Anything would have been better than what he did. It was like, cut.
Was he that noticeable in the shot? Was he in focus? And
Oh,
stuff?
he was just in the background.
I mean, even if he wasn't, you would
imagine
still
if
do
you're in a
that.
movie and there's like all these people in the city street and one person goes at the camera. You'd be like, what the fuck? Why'd they leave that in?
I did that
terrible.
recently with the bare naked lady shoot. Have you seen
I
those?
might want a squirt of 40-year-old mustard at some point.
Have you seen those new fridges where you can press a button and it opens the door differently?
Oh, wait. Gavin's brain.
You go. It's your turn. It's your turn.
I think what he means is
Yeah, what do you mean? You open a door, you push a button, and it opens the refrigerator door differently. What does that mean?
it doesn't open the door fully. It opens the outer door, and there's still a glass panel on the inside, so you can see the food without it fully being open.
That is correct.
Oh,
It
hey!
opens, so you pull open the whole fridge door, it brings open the door with all the food in, or you can hold a button down and it just pulls the front of the fridge off, and you can take the stuff that's in the door out.
I
like it's
only
the fridge.
know this because I had to buy a fridge because I'm moving. I saw a fridge like this at the store the other day.
Do you know how much extra you typically pay for that feature? It's like $500 more expensive. Just for a show door, they call it.
Yeah, I saw. I was
Gavin's
like,
in-
that's cool.
And
I'm
you
not
have
paying
one?
that much for a fridge. I just moved on.
Gavin is in
Is
what
that
I
one
call.
you have? Oh.
No, I didn't buy a stupid fridge. We have separate bathrooms.
Really?
Do you really?
Yeah,
What? I guess because, you know, if you take
easier.
poop,
We could both like
poop.
do everything at the same time.
Yeah. I often think about.
Everything.
2 showers.
I often think about establishing myself in the guest bathroom, just because there is one. I think I should probably do that. Just
Like you don't poo in the main bathroom, right?
no, I have a poo room that I
Yeah.
go into.
Is it downstairs or upstairs?
It's downstairs and through two doors,
right.
and so
Dampening the sound.
every now and then I'll hear this. I'll hear this. Burnie. Oh. That's exactly how that works for me.
You should get like red lights installed, like you're on the air. You're like, do not disturb. Serious business going on.
on bowl.
On bowl.
Yeah, ever since Ashley has moved in, I've never pooped upstairs. That's gone
Smart
for me.
idea.
That's over for me.
Yeah.
What if
We
she's
go to a
not there?
hotel, I poop in the lobby.
What if she's not there? Do you poop
It's
upstairs?
really awkward when they don't have a bathroom in the lobby and I just poop at the front desk.
But you don't poo in the hotel room that
No.
when you're staying with Ashley?
Nope, I go down to the lobby.
That's a little weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I just do
That
that.
is kind of weird. If she's not at home, do you ever put upstairs as like a little treat to
What's
yourself?
that? No, I never do.
No?
Sometimes I poop with Joe the cat in the cat box just for fun. For
I have an
bonding.
issue.
Gross.
Do you think that would scare him? Like, what fucking cat did that? That thing must be massive.
Dude, one of the people that I admire most is not as an actor, but just as a guy, is George Clooney, because he is a renowned prankster. And he used to live with the guy who, he's the guy that's on Mad About You. He's the guy,
The Paul Reiser?
not Paul Reiser, it's his friend. Who's like, hey. It's like, you'd know the guy if you saw him, but I can't tell you what his name is.
Vic?
No, yeah. And the guy had a cat. And so George Clooney religiously, for like a month, went down every morning and cleaned all the crap out of the cat box. And the guy was getting worried. It's like, the cat's never going to the bathroom ever. And then George Clooney, after a month, took a dump in the
Oh my god.
That's such a brilliant,
my God.
that's such a brilliant mind fuck. And the guy was like, oh my god.
Jesus. That shit was backed up.
I know what the guy's name is, but he did that.
That's so fucking funny.
It's really funny. It's really funny.
That's so gross.
George
awesome.
Clooney. I'm gonna see how quickly that comes up on
So,
it just looks like a leather couch from a distance.
and your couch is leather?
Yeah.
I don't want it. I hate leather couches.
Why?
I hate fucking, because you can't sleep, you can't nap on them.
Sure you can.
You get all like, ugh. It's just like, it's horrible. It's horrible.
You get all like blah, and
just
then
like,
you can't.
You just like, there's nowhere for the heat to go. It's all just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Get a blanket for it or something. A throw blanket.
Nah, yeah. That's too
No.
much effort. You just get this. This has got a built-in blanket.
This
a
is
blanket
rock
couch.
solid. Try and nap on this.
This couch that they sweated on is leather, and you're gonna give it away? Just wipe it off.
That's what we just said earlier.
That's the whole purpose of leather. Is like nothing sticks to it.
It's nah.
Except you can't nap on it because
It's
He goes, no. I was very specific. You lay down, and it's like you just go, ugh. It's just like, anybody will know what I'm talking about. It's like you get this heat layer.
right, but you're the
Gross.
person who can. You said you can fall asleep within 3 minutes of
Anywhere,
any
anytime.
situation, right?
I'm not saying I can't fall asleep. I'm saying waking up is like, I regret all
What's
of this.
waking up like?
You woken up already at that point.
It goes like this. You go, that's the noise it makes when you wake up off a leather couch.